Peace and love, everybody. This is Young Nas from iGotOptions LLC, and in this video I want to talk about what futures are. So this video is honestly long overdue because it's very imperative that you as a trader know what futures are, because it's thanks to futures that we're able to track the market on a 24-hour type basis. And this video is going to be very brief, very straight to the point, because they're not that complex. All right, all futures they're very similar to options. All right, because futures are contracts. You have the right but not the obligation to exercise certain actions. All right, now that's really the general gist of it. I don't want to confuse you any more than that, but that's the general concept of what futures are. Now, with that being said, futures are different from options in the fashion that they can be traded over a longer period of time, and the fact that you can trade them on different assets. So with options, you're not really able to trade commodities unless they're in the form of an ETF. Now with futures, you can directly trade that commodity or index or currency. When it comes to futures, not only do you have more time to trade what you want, but you, in a sense, have more to trade. All right, because you're not just limited to stocks and ETFs. The assets that you can trade are more diverse. Now, with that being said, although that sounds intriguing, one of the major downfalls or one of the major cons of trading futures is the fact that it requires margin. All right, so if you don't know what margin is a fancy word for borrowing money. Now, that being said, unless you're a skilled trader who knows what you're doing, I don't recommend that you mess with margin whatsoever, because trading with margin as a beginner can put you in a bad position. Alright, so from my experience, I don't recommend that you use margin whatsoever. I recommend that you use your own money to practice and develop your skill set. That's why I recommend options, because with options, you can do that as opposed to futures. And they sort of act like an indicator for those stock traders and options traders, because since futures are open majority of the day, you can track those assets that would affect stock traders. So you can look at those indices for a longer period of time compared to those stock traders who look at that ETF until 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so those are some of the pros and cons of futures, but that's really the general idea and concept of what futures are. All right, so I just want to make this video very brief, straight to the point, just introducing you to this concept of futures. All right, peace.